Alright guys, so it's been a little while since I've done an F1 2014 game news or discussion video, mainly because Codemasters' social media accounts have been fairly tight-lipped over the last couple of months. There's been no news about the upcoming F1 2014 game up until now. I don't think we'll hear any official news for another couple of weeks, or maybe even a month and a half at the very latest, but today I'll be talking about Steve Hood, the creative designer for Codemasters F1 games. He's been talking to fans or avid fans of the F1 game franchise, and he's been hinting at things that might be coming out in this upcoming F1 game, sort of dismissing some rumors as well, and in between we'll try and negotiate through some of the rumors and things that he's been hinting at that might be coming out in the upcoming F1 game. So we'll go through that in this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to see more videos like this, then let me know in the future and I'll get on to making these. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so the first tweet comes in from June the 6th, and Steve Hood is talking about mainly the handling model, and this is sort of going to be the theme of the video. And he says, "These F1 drivers don't know how lucky they are. I love driving these turbo cars around Montreal. Poor rear tyres." Now, at this tweet he's hinting at the handling that's going to be happening in almost synergy with the 2014 season. Normally with the Codemasters games, they always stick to the theme that happens throughout that season. And for example, in 2013, the main theme of that year was the tyres, and they pretty much replicated that with F1 2013. The tyre wear was clearly evident in that game, and I think this year's game will have a big focus on the handling of the 2014 cars. So you're going to see with the turbos and everything, there's going to be so much torque, so much wheel spinning with the rear end. Tyre wear, as always, is going to be very hard to manage, but the Pirellis this year, they're a little bit more durable and a little bit more consistent over the course of a race. So the tyre wear in that aspect should be fairly good, as long as you can manage the torque and the wheel spin and almost the understeer that comes with the 2014 handling of this year's F1 cars. So if you can deal with all of these aspects, then you're pretty much set for a good year on F1 2014. Now this next tweet is a pretty massive one. We've never seen anything like this in the current Codemasters F1 franchise before, but only an hour ago Steve Hood says that the tyre temperatures can be affected from the car ahead. Now this is going to play massively into the way that we deal with our races and prepare our race strategies. So if you get stuck behind a car for maybe 2 to 3 laps or maybe even more, your tyre wear will start to go downhill because the tyre temperatures will just go outside of their operating window. Now that is massive. Codemasters are now starting to realise, or starting to almost accommodate towards the more, I don't know, more serious F1 gamer, or more dedicated F1 fan, I suppose. So this is massive. We'll start to see some more advanced tactics coming into the F1 games by Codemasters, and this is absolutely awesome. In the comments, let me know what you guys think of this, because this could be absolutely awesome. I just hope that the AI are affected with regards to this just as much as what the players are, because this is something that could almost be OP with the AI in terms, just with 2013, we saw with the tyre wear, it really over-affected the player too much, and the AI was sort of unaffected by this. So I hope across the board the AI are affected by this too, but this is massive news and I really can't wait to see how this handles on F1 2014. So moving on to the next tweet, and I think this might tie in with the previous one, or it might tie into the next one that I'm about to talk about. Now Steve Hood on the 20th of May says, "It's been a while since I've had one of those wow developer moments, but trying something today made me feel very happy indeed." Now that could be relating to the tyre temperature thing with the cars in front, or it could be in regards to this tweet here, where on the 12th of June he says, "Seems like more and more developers are adding weather to their racing games. About time, we'll have to add something new." So I think this might be in regards to either weather or maybe even the environment or the track or something that surrounds the cars and the racing and whatever. I think this might be an expansion of maybe tire marbles or maybe some kind of active environment that affects the car handling or something. Maybe like shadows or leaves that come onto the track. For example, you see a lot of those at some of the street circuits, like for example Australia and Canada. You see a lot of marbles or debris and leaves and stuff come onto the track, and that sort of affects the handling and the grip of the cars, and you know, just affects the overall handling of the car. So I think maybe a more advanced environmental system, weather system, I think is fairly good on F1 2013, and I don't see how they could really expand on that too much, because they've already got a dynamic weather system where it can rain in some parts of the track and be dry in others. I think Codemasters' weather system is the best weather system that there is out there. In terms of racing games, I think it's the best there is. So I don't see how they could improve on that, but I might be wrong. I think they could probably improve on that. They've obviously know where they can improve on and what their strengths and weaknesses are, so chances are they'll improve on that, but I have a feeling they'll introduce something completely new that might completely blow away our expectations of this new game, especially when you consider that I think the F1 2014 game will be out on next-gen consoles as well as old-gen as well. I think they'll accommodate to both, so that's a bit of a spoiler there from me. So I think, yeah, F1 2014, both consoles, old and new. Look forward to it. Moving on to the next tweet, and it's from the 16th of June. And he says, at the moment we're not allowed driver moves. We license a single season only and can just about get away with repeating that year on year. So what he's saying there is, unfortunately, we won't be having any driver moves. I've been talking about this in videos in the past, and for career mode I would have really loved to have seen like a driver transfer market, or just drivers moving from team to team every year after career mode, because it does get boring seeing the same drivers at the same team every single year. But unfortunately that's going to stick around for another year. But if the handling and the racing between the AI is even better than what it was last year, then I'm not going to complain too much. So moving on to the next tweet, and that's from Lee Walsh, and he says, I know they got to cater to the arcadey crowd, I just want more realism and variation in the setups. And he makes a good point there. Steve Hood says, in a product we're working on at the moment, things should be more to your liking in terms of effects. So maybe Steve's hinting at maybe a more advanced setup system or menu where you can actively change some of the aero parts or just the camera on the car, and it might drastically affect tire wear. You never know. I just hope that in F1 2014 the tire wear is not scripted, and that you can run different setups for different tracks and still be just as fast. So in F1 2013, to a degree, you could run just about the same setup at every single track and be pretty much on the pace. For F1 2014, I don't want that to be the case. I want there to be different setups for different tracks, so that we can actually actively find what the best setup is, and just add a little bit more creativity to what it takes to be fast around a certain track, because applying the same setup to every single track is a little bit boring. But moving on to the next tweet, and I didn't really mention it, but I think it ties into the previous tweet I was talking about, but I didn't really mention it, and that is the driving engine that supports F1 2013, and I think it might be changing, especially if it goes to next gen. I've been hearing some rumors for at least a year now that Codemasters are going to be switching to a new engine if they go to next gen, and this tweet just about confirms it. Starting off with the April 27th, Steamy Gameplays asked, do you think Ego 2 will be ready for F1 2014? He said it would be nice to see it on next gen, but there's only so many hours in a day. Then Steve On goes on to say, I don't know where people get these version numbers for Ego from, but he says it's safe to say that F1 on next gen would be entirely new. So, next gen consoles came out almost a year ago. F1 2014 comes out almost a year later. You'd have to say that Codemasters have been preparing for the next gen release of F1 2014. So we could see a new driving engine for this game, so that could entirely change the way that the cars handle and behave on F1 2014. So we could see something completely new and something amazing, because that would just be honestly awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. I think if they go to a new engine, then things will completely go out the window. We could see some new setup menus and all that kind of thing. I think that'd be completely awesome, and I think it would get rid of some of the bugs that we've had over the last couple of years. For example, the side pod glitch, some invisible walls, and just to name a few of those things. So that's been this video for today. I hope you guys have thoroughly enjoyed it. If there's anything I've missed, or if there's something I've not said entirely accurately, for example, with next-gen consoles and past-gen consoles, I don't know anything for sure. As of this date, I don't know if it'll be released on next-gen consoles or if it'll be released on old-gen consoles. This is just me making some predictions based on some of the things I've seen and heard so far. So don't take any of this as gospel truth, because it's not. These are just some rumors or some things just being pointed out in a video. So if you like this video, leave a like. If you want to see more of these in the future, then let me know. Subscribe if you want to see more F1 2013 and F1 2014 videos in the future. But that's been this video for today. I'll see you guys next time. Alright, so here we are on the grid of Japan, and here we are in a wet race. We need to get off to a really good start. I'm going to put the revs down into lean just to minimise that wheel spin off the start, and away we go here in China. Hopefully we can maintain our advantage coming into turn 1. We're going to move over on Lewis Hamilton to squeeze him out and show that we really do mean business in this championship. Look at everyone going defensive coming into turn 2. We're going to try and swoop around the outside of Fernando Alonso, and we maintain position for the moment. We've kept Lewis Hamilton behind us as Alonso goes very slowly through there, holding us up, and then someone spins behind us. That is Lewis Hamilton, and Grosjean is gone too.